From toxic desert trash to barbecue treasure, the wild story of the watermelon. Can you imagine biting into a slice of watermelon on a hot summer day, only for it to taste as bitter as battery acid and be as hard as a bowling ball? It sounds like a prank, but thousands of years ago, that's exactly what a watermelon was. Today, we think of this giant, juicy fruit as the ultimate backyard party staple, but its journey from a toxic desert survival tool to America's favorite summer snack is packed with wild twists, ancient pharaohs, and a massive global migration. Let's unpack the incredible history of how the watermelon completely transformed itself to conquer the world. The original ancient watermelon, tough, bitter, and pale. Long before it was sweet, the watermelon belonged to the cucurbitacea family, the same plant lineage that gives us cucumbers, pumpkins, and gourds. Ancient wild watermelons looked nothing like the ones sitting in your local grocery store. They were small, perfectly round, and had a pale, dense, greenish-white interior. Worst of all, they were incredibly bitter. This bitterness came from high levels of natural chemical compounds called cucurbitacins, which the plant used to stop wild animals from eating it. In fact, eating too much of a wild ancient watermelon could give you a severe stomachache. However, they had one major superpower: they were packed with water. In dry, blistering deserts, travelers would smash these bitter fruits open just to get to the moisture inside to stay alive. Out of Africa, finding the true homeland. For a long time, scientists argued about where the watermelon actually came from. Some thought it started in South Africa, but recent DNA breakthroughs changed the game. Scientists tested ancient, dried-up leaves and discovered that the closest wild relative to our modern watermelon is the kordofan melon, which grows in northeastern Africa, specifically around modern-day Sudan. Unlike other bitter wild gourds, the kordofan melon naturally had a milder, non-bitter white flesh. This made it the perfect starting point for early humans to begin farming and tweaking the plant. Pharaohs and fresh water, the Egyptian upgrade. The real transformation started about 4,000 to 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. In a hot climate, fresh water spoils or evaporates quickly. But the Egyptians realized that a watermelon with its thick, tough rind acts like a natural canteen. It could store fresh water for months after being picked. They loved the fruit so much they painted it on the walls of their tombs and even buried watermelon seeds with Pharaoh Tutankhamun. They wanted to make sure their rulers had a crisp, refreshing drink on their long journey through the afterlife. Over generations, Egyptian farmers kept saving the seeds of the sweetest, softest, and reddest melons. That bright red color we love today comes from lycopene, an antioxidant that multiplied as farmers bred out the old white-green interior, riding the trade routes to Europe and Asia. Once the Egyptians perfected the fruit, it caught the attention of global traders. By the 1st century, watermelons made it across the Mediterranean Sea to Greece and Rome, where doctors praised it for being incredibly cooling and hydrating. Centuries later, during the Islamic Golden Age, Moorish traders brought advanced farming techniques and watermelon seeds into Spain, helping the crop spread across Europe. Meanwhile, the fruit was also hitching a ride east along the Silk Road. It reached India by the 7th century and China by the 10th century. The Chinese named it sigua, meaning Western melon. Today, China embraces the fruit so much that it is the #1 producer of watermelons in the entire world. Landing in America. The watermelon's arrival in the United States is deeply connected to global exploration and the dark history of the transatlantic slave trade. While Spanish explorers brought seeds to Florida in the late 1500s, it was enslaved Africans who truly established the fruit across North America. They carried watermelon seeds with them across the Atlantic, planting them in the small garden plots they were allowed to keep. The hot, humid climate of the American South was perfect for the crop. It grew so fast that it quickly spread to Native American trade networks. By the mid-1600s, European explorers walking through the Mississippi Valley were shocked to find indigenous tribes growing massive fields of watermelons to beat the summer heat. The modern makeover, science and art. If you want proof of how fast the watermelon changed, you only have to look at art. A famous 17th-century painting by Italian artist Giovanni Stanchi shows a cut-open watermelon that looks bizarre. It has big white swirls, a massive rind, and only small patches of red flesh. By the 20th century, scientists stepped in to finish the job. In 1954, a researcher in South Carolina created the Charleston Gray, a variety bred to be tough enough to ship in trucks without bruising while staying completely sweet and red. Shortly after, a Japanese scientist figured out how to crossbreed different melon chromosomes to make the plants sterile, giving us the easy-to-eat seedless watermelons we see on store shelves today. It is truly mind-blowing to think that the crisp, sweet slice of watermelon on your plate started out as a bitter, pale survival gourd in the African desert thousands of years ago. Through thousands of years of human history, trade, and science, it evolved into the ultimate symbol of summer fun. The next time you enjoy a slice, you are literally tasting thousands of years of global teamwork and agricultural magic. If your mind is officially blown by how much the watermelon has changed, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you prefer your watermelon with seeds, seedless, or maybe with a little bit of salt? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because we have a ton of wild food history stories coming your way that you definitely don't want to miss. See you in the next video!